Why hunting is actually good for animals? Wait, what? I know. You're thinking, I got to come after him in the comments. Hear me out. Today we're going to talk about something that sounds a little bit backwards, but it isn't. How hunting actually saves animals. That's right, you heard it. Hunters save animals. Plot twist of the century? Let's rewind. Think about Teddy Roosevelt. Early 1900s, men were men. Mustaches were majestic. Teddy Roosevelt was out there doing push-ups on mountains just because he could. And he helped kick off the Pittman-Robertson Act of 1937. It's a law that puts a special tax on every gun, bullet, and hunting license. You ask any conservationists, people that are working in wildlife conservation, PR funds, Pittman-Robertson Act funds, what they're used for. You buy ammo, boom, the money goes straight to wildlife conservation. You get a hunting license, more cash for hunting, restoration, and animal management. Basically, hunters fund the survival of the very animals they hunt. It's the ultimate circle of life, but just with more paperwork. So what about some comeback kids? I'm talking elk, deer, ducks. Back in the 1930s, animal wildlife numbers were frantically low. We're talking deer so rare you'd get more excited if you saw one than a UFO. Can you imagine that? But thanks to hunter-funded education, those numbers have exploded. Today, we have white-tailed deer that were under 1 million in the 1930s to over 30 million in the U.S. Elk from about 40,000 to over 1 million in the United States. Ducks and geese. Again, they were talking about declaring they thought the wood duck was going to go extinct in the 1930s. There's now tens of millions of ducks and geese in the U.S., all because dollars from hunting gear licenses went back into managing habitats and protecting wetlands and reintroducing those species. So when you see a duck float by, thank a hunter, but maybe not too loud because there might be a hunter out there. All right, so what about outside the U.S.? Let's head over to Africa. Elephants, big, beautiful, majestic creatures. Who doesn't like elephants? In 1973, Kenya established a law making it against the law to hunt elephants. At the same time, they had about 275,000 elephants at the time. And what is it today? That number has dropped to just 33,000. Why? Because without legal, regulated hunting, elephants lost their value to those local communities. Poachers moved in and conservation funds dried up. Now head over to neighboring Botswana. Doing great. Hunting elephants is legal there, but it's very highly regulated, and it costs about $50,000 per elephant. That money goes directly to those local villages, conservation programs, and in the 1973, they had like 20-something thousand elephants. That's it in Botswana. Today, it's over 300,000. The animals are valued, poaching drops, and guess what? They're protected. Turns out if you want elephants to live, sometimes you have to let people hunt them. Weird. Yeah, effective. Absolutely. What's the big picture there? If hunting is done right, without wiping out the animals, keeping populations healthy, funding conservation, connecting to the land, something that the Native Americans did. Hunters don't want animals to disappear. They want them to survive. Without that wildlife, there's no hunting. When without hunters, guess what? We have a lot fewer animals to protect. It's kind of a poetic thing when you think about it. So the next time someone says hunting is bad for animals, tell them about Teddy Roosevelt, the Pittman-Robertson Act, and the elephants of Botswana. Conservation isn't just about hugging trees. Sometimes it's about funding them with bullets and fishing licenses. If you enjoyed this video and you learned anything, hit that button for subscribe, drop a comment below if you have questions about conservation, hunting ethics, wildlife management. Let me know. I'm happy to answer. Respect the wild, take a shot, and protect the planet.